So come to lie down on your mat and make it a lying down position that feels really relaxing, really comfortable. Something where you can just be and breathe for a few minutes. We're gonna definitely take our time, being it's our gentle yoga class, evening time flow, to really slow down a little bit and breathe and just be. So as you relax towards your mat, start to really lean into that deeper breath, that deeper connection to breath, making breath a little bit bigger and a little bit longer. We are exploring the yoga philosophical concept of Pratyahara in our practices. And Pratyahara is a couple of things that are important to know about it as we get started. One, it is the fifth limb of an 8-limbed yogic path. So it is kind of right in the middle of a more expansive and all-inclusive yoga study and yoga journey. And it means essentially withdrawal of the senses. That's how it's often translated. A more direct translation is withdrawal of consumption. So the purpose of Pratyahara is to really practice disengagement of the mind and detachment from the senses, the ways that we traditionally make meaning of ourselves and of the world around us. And taking the opportunity to lean into maybe there's a different possibility, maybe there's a different way, and opening and committing to that practice. And we'll talk more about that as we move through class. But for this practice, think about the opportunity to let go throughout, the opportunity to go inward, though that may seem the opposite of letting go. It's a way of becoming more connected to something more authentically, consciously of this moment, rather than laying a story or a sensation onto the experience to tell us what it should be like. Let's take a couple big breaths together. Exhale all the air out. Take a big breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Do 2 more of those lying still. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, full breath in. Deep breath out. From here, transition to legs up the wall pose. Simply let your feet start to push up towards the ceiling as if your legs were resting up against a wall. It's okay to keep a bend in your knees for sure. And let this feel like a gentle stretch on the back line of your legs before we get into some deeper movement on our body, just feeling that stationary opportunity to stretch and be and feel your physical self. But again, inviting the opportunity to withdraw from attachment to what you notice. Instead, simply be in the pose rather than making meaning of the pose. Let your feet fall towards your face, a little flex in your toes. One more breath in. One more breath out. We'll do a little hamstring stretch. So let your left foot drop down to the mat, grab behind your right thigh and pull your right leg a little bit more in towards your chest. You could bend your knee a little bit more here. Keep that flex in your foot. Press through your heel as you draw your leg in towards your torso. Breathe in. And breathe out. We'll switch it out. Let your right leg drop to the mat. Hug your left thigh in towards your chest. Keep some length in your left leg. But remember, a bent knee is totally fine if that feels better in your hamstring. Press through your heel, flex your foot as you pull your thigh, that's what it's called, towards your chest. Breathe in. And breathe out. Hug both knees into your chest, bend your knees, grab your palms around your shins, and just kind of find a couple of rock and roll side to side. And then grab behind your knees, begin to rock forwards and backwards the length of your spine. Gain some momentum here, eventually finding enough momentum to come through the tabletop pose. Plant your palms at the top of your mat, step your feet back, your knees underneath your hips. And after lots of lying down, you just move however you want to move. So doesn't have to be movements that have names. You could totally do a little cat and cow, a little arching and rounding of your back. Add in some twisting, some neck rolls, some hip movement, shoulder movement, whatever feels good for you. One thing to know about our practice that we're doing, it's going to be a mandala flow. So mandala, essentially, at least as I'm defining it, is moving around all sides of your mat. So there's times you'll be facing the front, facing the back, and facing both the left and right sides. Just know that there'll be a little bit more movement in your practice today. Once you're finished with this initial movement in tabletop pose, press back to your first downward facing dog. Curl your toes under, lift your hips, start to find a little bend in your knees, a little pedal of your feet to begin with that gentle movement. Again, leaning into the opportunity to just notice the postures without attaching a whole lot of connection to what it means and what we notice, but withdrawing from that and being open to different possibilities. Come to stillness in your downward facing dog, lift your tailbone up. Let your gaze hang heavy between your legs. Breathe in, lift through your hips. Breathe out, relax your heels down. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, ragdoll pose. Step your feet forward behind your wrists. There you can grab for opposite elbow or forearm. Let your head hang really heavy. Keep a deep bend in your knees. Feel that elongation in your spine. We're doing this practice at the end of the day, so it's a nice chance that any compression between your vertebrae can start to release a little bit here as you let the crown of your head soften down. Switch your grip, bring opposite arm in front. Keep your weight more into your toes and your heels, or you could play a little bit with rocking your feet back and forth, maybe swaying a little side to side. Again, just really releasing the muscles around your spine. And bring your fingertips down to the mat. Toe heel your feet together till they touch. Bend your knees a lot and then start to come up to a standing position. Lengthen your legs first, then unround your back. Reach through the crown of your head, couple shoulder rolls towards the back, couple shoulder rolls towards the front, maybe a little neck movement for good measure. And then standing at attention pose, Samastitihi, bring your thumbs to your heart, blink your eyes gently closed. In terms of intention for our practice, leaning into the concept of Pratyahara, withdrawal, moving away from consumption. So an intention that is something to do with being open, being curious, being willing to explore the depths of your practice, of yourself, from something beyond the stories that we usually attach to it. Whatever that looks like in your own words, in your own experience, we'll send it out with unified breath. Exhale the air from your lungs. Breathe in, fill up. Big breath out, release. One more time, deep inhale. Big exhale. Blink your eyes open, palms to your sides, simple sun A to start to move. Inhale, mountain pose, reach to your fingertips. Exhale, forward fold, lead with your chest as you hinge from your hips. Inhale, halfway lift, create a really long spine. Exhale, high to low plank, plant your palms, step back, bend your elbows halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog, press into your palms, look forward. Exhale, downward facing dog, lift your hips. Pause here, breathe in. And breathe out. Let's go again. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold, feet to touch at the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain pose, press through your feet, reach and rise up. Exhale, forward fold, lead with your chest, draw your core in tight. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high to low plank. As you step back, you could come to your knees to bend your elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog, press back to the tops of your feet. Exhale, downward facing dog, lift your hips. Breathe in. And breathe out. We'll go through it one more time. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold, step to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, mountain pose, big lengthen and reach to the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold, glide down towards your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, really long spine. Exhale, high to low plank. You do your way. You could also hold high plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big breath in. Big breath out. Do one more. Deep inhale. Full exhale. We'll do our mandala flow. Pay attention to rights and lefts. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold, feet to touch at the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, chair pose. Bend your knees, lift your chest, reach high. Pause and breathe in chair. Keep your weight far back into the backs of your feet. Sink your hips a little lower, lift your chest a little higher, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold, hinge down to your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, nice long spine. Exhale, high to low plank, your version, your way. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, kick your right leg high. Exhale, low lunge, step through to your palms. Inhale, crescent lunge, lift your chest, reach your fingertips toward the ceiling, keep a bend in your right knee and breathe. Feel your shoulders lift over your hips, tuck your tailbone underneath, squeeze at your inner thighs to feel a little bit more stability in your stance. Breathe in. Exhale, airplane your arms, hinge your chest forward as you reach your fingertips back. Inhale, warrior two, push your left foot down at the back of your mat, reach through your fingertips, pause and breathe again here. Keep the bend in your right knee, tuck your tailbone down, lift your shoulders above your hips. Breathe in. Exhale, extended side angle. Keep the length in your side bodies, reach your right arm down, your left arm up. Rotate your chest open. Feel as much length and space as your right rib cage as your left, and then lift your gaze to the ceiling. Inhale, star pose, toes out, heels in, make a big X shape. Exhale, goddess pose, thumbs to heart center, bend your knees, sink low. First couple of times in goddess, we always hold to be able to move and wiggle a little bit, so just find whatever movements feel good. Some movement in your hips, especially, bending and straightening your legs. You could add in a little twisting. We're not doing very much twisting in our practice today, so that might be something that you want to add in. And come back to stillness. Feel your chest lift up so your shoulders stack over your hips and push through the outer edges of your feet. Now we're going to go to the back of your mat. Inhale, star pose, lengthen and rise up. Exhale, warrior two to the back. Bend your left knee and gaze at the back of your mat. Inhale, reverse triangle, straighten your left leg as you reach your left arm up. Exhale, high to low plank to the back of your mat. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll bring it back to the front. Inhale, kick your right leg high. Exhale, low lunge, step your foot between your hands. Inhale, right to warrior two. Push your left foot down, reach to your fingertips. Exhale, extended side angle towards the back of your mat. Inhale, star pose. Make that big X shape facing the other side this time. And then as you exhale, wide leg forward fold. Parallel your feet so your toes point straight to the side of your mat. Bring your arms to a T and hinge from your hips. Let your shoulders or your palms just soften under your shoulders. Press your weight more to your toes. You can try to lift your hips a little bit higher. And like every forward fold, you can bend your knees as much as you please. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Add a little halfway lift. Walk your palms out beyond your mat. Lengthen your spine. Inhale. Exhale, low lunge to the front of your mat. Frame your left foot, and we're ready for the second side. Inhale, crescent lunge. Lift your chest, reach your arms up to the ceiling. Pause and breathe. Set up your left side crescent lunge. Pivot your left hip crease a little bit back, your right hip crease a little bit forward. Keep your shoulders stacked above your hips. Breathe in. Exhale, airplane arms. Hinge your chest forward as you reach your fingertips behind you. Inhale, warrior two. Push your right foot down at the back of your mat. Extend your arms open wide and breathe. Keep your left knee guiding over your ankle. Rotate your chest open to the side and feel your shoulders drop from your ears. Breathe in. Exhale, extended side angle. Reach your left arm down and your right arm up. Rotate your chest open. Push your left arm and your left leg together. Feel your gaze lift and your shoulder blades draw towards each other. Inhale, star pose. Make that big X shape. Exhale, goddess pose. Thumbs to heart. Bend your knees. Last time we'll hold goddess pose. So find those movements here that feel good. Or you can be still in goddess, totally fine as well. But I know it always helps me to kind of warm up my outer hips and glutes a little bit. First time bending and opening this way. Back to stillness and goddess, thumbs at heart. Sink a little bit lower. Press your legs open behind you and point your tailbone down. We go to the back. Inhale, star pose, rise up. Exhale, warrior two to the back. Bend your right knee, gaze at the back of your mat. Inhale, reverse triangle, straighten your right leg as you reach up. Exhale, high to low plank to the back of your mat. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now we bring it back to the front. Inhale, kick your left leg high. Exhale, low lunge, step it through. Inhale, right to warrior two. Open your chest to the side. Exhale, extended side angle. Keep that side body length. Inhale, star pose. Reach and rise up. Exhale, wide leg forward fold. Parallel your feet, arms to a T, and then hinge from your hips. We'll hold a couple breaths again here in wide leg forward fold, which we will also do a little bit later in practice. So start to let yourself really emerge into this fold. A good opportunity, again, when we hold in these postures, to feel the opportunity to, rather than make meaning of the pose or consume it, to withdraw from that. And what does that mean? How do you know? What is the difference between those two ideas? It's basically not basically, but one way to view it is an act of mindfulness and just being conscious of the moment, letting go of any kind of story or narrative that normally might make its way in. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Add a little half lift. Walk your palms off the side of your mat. Inhale. Exhale, low lunge to the front. Frame your right foot. Inhale, three-legged dog. Kick your right leg high. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. From here, we're going to move through this mandala flow, one breath to one movement, one time through. And the hope in doing so is to invite yourself to simply get lost in the movement. Listen to my instruction. And even if it gets lost into something else, no matter, just move and be and enjoy the flow of your body. One more breath in. One more breath out. Let's do it. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold, step to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, chair, sit low, reach high. Exhale, forward fold, point your tailbone up. Inhale, halfway lift, point your tailbone back. Exhale, high to low plank or your variation of choice. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, kick your right leg high. Exhale, low lunge, step it through. Inhale, crescent lunge, reach to the ceiling. Exhale, airplane arms, broaden your chest forward. Inhale, warrior two, lift your shoulders over your hips. Exhale, extended side angle. Stay connected to your breath. Inhale, star, toes out, heels in. Exhale, goddess, sink low in your hips. Inhale, back through star, reach up. Exhale, warrior two to the back. Bend your left knee and gaze at the back of your mat. Inhale, reverse triangle. Straighten your left leg as you reach up. Exhale, high to low plank towards the back of your mat. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, kick your right leg high. Exhale, low lunge to the back of your mat. Inhale, warrior two, push into the knife edge of your left foot. Exhale, extended side angle. Keep your side bodies nice and long. Inhale, star, open to the opposite side. Exhale, wide leg forward fold. Parallel your feet as you lower down. Inhale, wide half lift. Get that little lift and length in your chest. Exhale, low lunge to the front, right into the left side. Inhale, crescent lunge. Lift your chest, reach up. Exhale, airplane arms. Remember, get lost. Inhale, warrior two, gaze over your left palm. Exhale, extended side angle, side bodies nice and long. Inhale, star, reach and rise up. Exhale, goddess, thumbs to heart as you bend your knees. Inhale, star, use the full breath to rise. Exhale, warrior two to the back, bend your right knee, gaze back. Inhale, reverse triangle, straighten your right leg. Exhale, high to low plank to the back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We bring it home. Inhale, kick your left leg high. Exhale, low lunge, step through to your hands. Inhale, warrior two, gaze beyond your left palm. Exhale, extended side angle. Keep your torso opening to the side. Inhale, star, big rise up. Exhale, wide leg forward fold. Lead with your chest as you lower down. Inhale, wide half lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, low lunge to the front, frame your right foot. Inhale, three-legged dog, kick your right leg up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Really lovely job. One more inhale. And one more exhale. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, come all the way through and down to a seat. Thumbs up if we're doing good. All right. I made myself very warm. My house is getting chilly and I'm no longer chilly. So yoga is always good for that. So as we always do, we're just going to sit, not just, we're going to sit and breathe and have a moment of mindfulness at the halfway point of our practice. So really rooted underneath you. You can sit on your heels, your block, cross-legged. Hands, there's lots of things. You could keep your palms on your legs. You could do palms over heart. You could do a mudra. Anything that feels right with your palms. And once you've made your choice in seat and what your hands are doing, close your eyes. Continue to reach to the crown of your head. Feel that length in your low back, a little length in your front of your torso as well. That'll encourage a little lift and opening in your heart space. Shrug your shoulders down. Give a slight tuck to your chin. Just be and breathe. Withdrawing from consumption. And essentially what that means is our mind likes to consume the information it receives. So with all of this energy moving, flowing through your body, just sit and be curious and open, withdraw, and notice what that's like for just about a minute of stillness and silence, and then we'll move on. One way to invite in Pratyahara into the physical practice that we do is to invite the experience to be internal. So we got all these cues and things about how our bodies move and what our muscles should be doing and where our fingers are pointing and all that kind of stuff. And that's great. We have to do that. But then start to let the internal take a spotlight. How does it make you feel? What kind of sensations do you notice in your body? What shifts over time? And let that start to be a little bit more focus of your practice. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Do that once more. Inhale. And exhale. And blink your eyes open. We'll meet in downward facing dog, but take a moment for some water, anything else you might need. And as you come back to down dog, we will prepare to do this mandala flow one more time, adding a little depth to it along the way. If you have a block, put it towards the back of your mat. That's where it will be most useful, is at the back of your space. And then in down dog, take a big breath in. Full exhale out. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold, step to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, chair pose, sit low, reach high. Exhale, airplane your arms, sweep your palms behind you this time. And then inhale, mountain pose, lengthen and reach everything up. Exhale, standing at attention pose, Samastiti, thumbs to heart center. Sorry, my dog distracted me. She walked by on the screen and it scared me. Anyways, tree pose on the right side, bend your right knee. Open your knee to the side, and then you can keep your toes on the mat, or you could press your full foot to your left inner calf, or guide your full foot up to your left inner thigh. Thumbs to heart center, squeeze your glutes to help level your hips. Hip points straight forward. This is a great posture to add things on, as well as to play with withdrawal of vision. That's one way to practice withdrawal of the senses, is to literally take away the sense of sight. Adds a little extra challenge in tree pose. You could add any other little variations you'd like. And again, let it go internal from there. How do you process that? What do you notice? Where do you want to go with your narrative? And then give permission to let that rest. Bring your gaze back forward. Palms back to heart. Point your right knee forward first, and step your right foot down to your left. We'll do it on the left side. So stand on your right foot, bend your left knee, open it to the side. Toes can stay down, or your full foot can come up to your right calf, or full foot up to your right inner thigh. Thumbs back to heart to start. Set up your posture first. I actually think carpet makes balancing harder too. Like I'm having a harder time with a less firm floor finding footing. But that's just the story I'm telling myself right now, right? Add on as you'd like. Maybe try that closed eyes or shift your gaze. It's a little kind of a modification of closing your eyes. Try looking up or looking down, giving a little bit different perspective. And then shift your gaze back forward. Bring your thumbs back to heart. Point your left knee forward, then step your left foot down. Some good pedals, some good wiggles. And we'll do sun A to come back to breath. Inhale, mountain pose, reach up. Exhale, forward fold, hinge to your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high to low plank, or any way you want to do those movements. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, kick your right leg up. Exhale, low lunge, step it all the way to your palms. Inhale, crescent lunge, lift your chest, reach high. This time as you exhale, option for airplane pose rather than airplane arms. So for full airplane pose, press forward onto your right foot, kick your left big toe up and off the mat, Broaden your airplane wings behind you. Feel a little up dog in your chest. Flex your right quadricep to keep your right leg muscles engaged and giving you a strong foundation to lift up and off of the mat. You're here for 3. Step back to warrior 2. Fine, take your time in 2. And 1, step back to warrior 2. Take your time to set up your posture, left foot down at the back. Bend your right knee, arms open wide. We continue our flow. Inhale, reach through your fingertips. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, goddess pose. Maybe you sink a little lower in your hips. Inhale, back through star. Exhale, warrior 2 to the back. Inhale, reverse triangle, straighten your left leg. This time as you exhale, triangle pose, push your hips behind you, then reach forward, then down with your left palm as you reach your right arm high. This is why I told you to put your block at the back of your mat if you want to bring your block underneath your left palm as a great way to encourage some side body length, or simply press your left palm to your shin or your left arm into your left leg. Rotate your chest open, keep your side body super nice and long, spine super straight, press your tailbone behind you, and then look up. You're here for 3. Reverse warrior in 2. And 1, inhale, reverse warrior, bend your left knee this time as you reach up. Exhale, high to low plank to the back of your mat. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, kick your right toes high. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold at the back of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, mountain pose, still facing the back of your mat. Exhale, sit up, dancer on the left side. So bring your left elbow to your left side body, left palm faces up. Stand on your right foot, kick your left heel towards your seat. Reach in and grab the inside edge of your left foot. So you're pulling your left heel towards your butt. Then from here, you can hold this, work on balance. If you want to go deeper into dancer's pose, begin to kick your heel away from your seat. That'll propel your chest forward and your left knee back. Keep your standing leg nice and straight. Fix your gaze on something to help you balance. It's always a little different whenever we change perception. So grant yourself a little grace as you lean into this balancing pose. You're here for 3. Step back and down to warrior 1 in 2. And 1, plant your left foot at the back of your mat, set up warrior 1. So both feet flat on the mat, square your hips forward, facing the back of your mat, tuck your tailbone, reach through your fingertips. Press into your left heel to really engage your back leg and guide your right knee over your ankle. Breathe in. Exhale, warrior 2. Widen your stance as you need, arms open wide. Inhale, star pose, reach up. Exhale, wide leg forward fold. Point your toes, hinge from your hips. These final 2 wide leg forward folds we do are an opportunity for you to adapt the posture if you'd like. If you want to come down to your knees, you could do like a prone frog, your knees to the mat, flex your feet towards you. Could even come down to your forearms from there. If you wanted to add in some twisting, you could do opposite palm to the mat, opposite palm up towards the ceiling, both on one side, or do one side here and do the other side when we come around the other way, or any other variation you want to do, really. I'll take just a couple more breaths here in wide leg forward fold to lean into where your practice is taking you tonight on the inside. It's a far more adaptive journey. The postures are all very technical. You do them a certain way. There's a how-to for each posture. But what happens on the inside is anything but technical. There's no how-to. I wish there were sometimes on how to process and adapt and move through what's happening on the inside. If you're not in wide leg forward fold, make your way back there. Palms to the mat, feet to the mat, and then come to runner's lunge facing the front. So walk your palms to the inside of your left foot. You can bring your right knee down at the back, Just taking an opportunity to really use the ground here in this wide, low lunge to support your stretch, your movement. Let your head hang heavy, your shoulders relax. Kind of find it's nice in runner's lunge. Just wiggle my hips a little bit side to side. You could bend and straighten your front leg. Get a little bit more hamstring stretch happening there as well. Whatever feels good for you. Everybody take a breath in. And take a breath out. Curl your back toes under, lift off your back knee, high plank pose, step your left foot back to your right, breathe in. Exhale, come all the way down to your belly, lead with your chest. Setting up cobra pose, walk your palms back next to your rib cage, zip your legs together, chin on the mat, then inhale, lift your chin, lift your chest. As you exhale, push into the tops of your feet to lift your kneecaps, squeeze your glutes and take the weight out of your palms. Reach your collarbones a little more forward, lift your chest a little higher, draw your navel up and in. One more breath in, lift, 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 lift. Exhale, slowly release your chin down, then left ear to the mat, gaze to the right, palms beside you, face up. Just take a moment here to breathe. Let go, maybe a couple wiggles in your hips. Is there anything that you're kind of attaching to, a narrative, something you're consuming as part of your practice? And is there opportunity to withdraw from that? And gently bring your chin back to center. Press your palms underneath your shoulders. Inhale, high plank pose or tabletop to push up from your mat. Exhale, downward facing dog. One breath in. One breath out. Let's do the left side. Inhale, kick your left leg high. Exhale, low lunge, step through to your palms. Inhale, crescent lunge, reach to the ceiling. Exhale, option for airplane pose, or you can do crescent lunge with airplane arms. If you're doing airplane pose, press your right foot up and off the mat, point your right toes behind you as you lift your right heel up. Lengthen your left leg, dial your right hip down, keep your chest broad, notice and fix your gaze. Here for 3. Gentle step back to warrior 2 and 2. And 1, plant your right foot down at the back of your mat. Open your chest, find your warrior 2. We'll continue our flow. Breathe in. Exhale, extended side angle, final extended side angle. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, goddess pose. One more time, breathe through the whole posture. Inhale, back through star. Exhale, warrior 2 to the back. Keep your right knee bent. Inhale, reverse triangle, straighten your right leg. Exhale, triangle pose towards the back of your mat. Push your hips behind you. Reach your right fingertips in front of you. Then drop your right palm down, left palm up. Side body's nice and long. Rotate your chest open. Keep a micro bend in your right knee to avoid hyperextension. And feel a little bit of a reach even through the crown of your head as you lift your gaze up towards your left palm. You're here for 3. Reverse warrior in 2. And 1, inhale, reverse warrior, bend your right knee. Exhale, high to low plank to the back of your mat. That's right. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze to your palms. Exhale, forward fold, step to the back of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, mountain pose, lengthen, reach to the ceiling. Exhale, dancer on the right, facing the back of your mat. Right elbow to right side body. Stand on your left foot. Kick your right heel to your seat and grab the inside edge of your foot. Point your right knee down as you bring your seat and your foot towards each other. You could stay right here or add that little kick into your palm to add a little arch in your back. It'll flex your glutes. Challenge your balance. So lean into the opportunity that the posture provides you, feeling the opportunity to experience it from a space of consciousness in the moment rather than a recreated narrative. You're here for 3. Step back to warrior 1 in 2. And 1, step back to warrior 1, plant your right foot behind you, bend your left knee, reach your arms to the ceiling and breathe. Warrior 1 to the back of your mat might feel a little different, so just feel it in your body. Pivot your left hip crease behind you, your right hip crease forward, bend your left knee, straighten your right leg, point your tailbone down. Breathe in. Exhale, warrior 2, come back to your breath connection. Inhale, star, 1 more star. Exhale, wide leg forward fold. Point your toes, bend your knees a little bit as you hinge from your hips. Final wide leg forward fold opportunity means that you can do whatever you'd like here. Lean into the fold a little bit more, or take a variation. If you twisted one way on the first side, gift yourself the opportunity to twist the other way on this side. Anything you'd like. Just give yourself the opportunity to breathe through it. Keep your breath connected to your choice. And then withdraw from consuming. My mind can be very consumed by lots of different things. So that's something I've really taken away from learning more and talking more about Pratyahara, is recognizing that that's what it is. It's consuming and trying to make meaning of something with maybe the wrong information or old information. And this is an interesting way to connect to a deeper, higher, more energetic version of ourselves. It's got different information. It's got different resources. It's a different spiritual way of being. And that's what the 5th limb of yoga is starting to open us to. And the 6th, 7th, and 8th limbs will take us even deeper. If you're not in your wide leg forward fold, make your way back to your feet, palms to the mat. And then as you're ready, runner's lunge facing the front of your mat, toe heel your right foot out, push your palms to the inside of your right foot, come down to your back knee. And again, lots of runner's lunge options. Maybe add a little shimmy in your hips, bend and straighten your front leg. Anywhere else you'd like to go with it, go for it. But really invite your shoulders to soften, your neck to soften, the crown of your head to soften. You can really relax your back leg as well. Feel your calf kind of start to melt a little bit down to the mat. And again, how are you breathing? Return to a breath connection. And then from your runner's lunge, push back to your palms, curl your back toes under, high plank pose, right foot back, take a big breath in. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly, lead with your chest. Another opportunity for cobra, or if you're feeling ready for it, floor bow. For floor bow, bring your heels to your seat, a lot like dancer, but it's with both feet. Grab for the tops of your feet this time and squeeze your knees a little together. Then inhale, lift your chin, lift your chest. Exhale, kick into your hands here. Maybe get a little lift of your knees up off the mat. Relax your shoulders, rock your weight forward towards your sternum. Engage your inner thighs. One more breath in, kick, 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 kick. Exhale, slowly release, chin down, right ear to the mat, gaze to the left, palms beside you. Maybe a windshield wipe your legs a couple times to release your low back. Just breathe. And slowly bring your chin back to center. Press your palms underneath your shoulders. Inhale, high plank your tabletop to push up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, kick your right leg up. Exhale, half pigeon. Bring your right knee to your wrist. Point your left toes straight back. Maybe you keep that lifted chest in your half pigeon or use the opportunity to lower into a more sleepy pigeon. Bring your forehead to rest on your fists, your block, a pillow, whatever props you need, whatever feels best in your body. A couple breaths here to feel your body soften to your mat. We're moving away from the more vigorous action in our practice to these last couple of minutes we get to have together where we start to soften the movement, or in some ways lean into our bodies being a little bit more stretched and ready. So something like half pigeon can be a pretty deep stretch that our body is maybe a little bit more ready to ease into. But as always, you can adapt it any way that you need that serves you best. And slowly start to make your way out of half pigeon back to downward facing dog. Walk your palms under the mat, curl your left toes under, step your right foot back, get a couple pedals and wiggles, and set up the left side. Inhale, kick your left leg high. Exhale, half pigeon on the left side, left knee to left wrist. Point your right toes straight back. And keep that lifted chest if you'd like. Maybe there's a dog in your way, so you can't lower all the way down, or lower all the way down if you'd like. Or take any other variation, maybe a variation on your back, seated, whatever you need. Slowly walk your palms back onto your mat. Curl your back toes under, press back to one last downward facing dog. Lift your hips, bend your knees, pedal your feet. And as you're ready, inhale, look forward. Exhale, step all the way through to a seat on your mat, legs out long in front of you, palms out long in front of you. One more breath in, nice long spine. Exhale, come all the way down to your back. We'll set up supported bridge pose. So have your block nearby, or you can do regular bridge pose as well. Bring your feet in towards your seats. Your ankles are under your knees, hip width distance. Then as you're ready, begin to lift your hips up. Slide your block underneath your lowest part of your back, your sacrum, and let your block rest your low back to your block. Your palms can stay next to you. You can bring one hand to heart, one hand to belly, hands to hips, anything that might feel good. Using the support of the block to help stretch your hip flexors a little bit and getting a little pressure point in your low back where your block meets your sacrum. It's a great opportunity from here on out, really, to close your eyes. And really start to soften down, sink towards your block, sink towards your mat. Keep that internal journey deepening, the option to continue to deepen and open to the internal experience. You're welcome to be here a little bit longer if you'd like. Otherwise, gently begin to remove your block from underneath you and recline bound angle. Full spine to the mat, feet together to touch, knees open wide. One hand to your heart, one hand to your belly, hands to your hips or palms to your sides. Same options as you had in supported bridge. Maybe you try a different option or there's something that feels similar and traditional for you. Reclose your eyes if they've opened. And just lean into the opportunity to breathe. You're welcome to stay in recline bound angle if it feels good. Otherwise, legs up the wall, which we did at the very beginning of class. Slowly draw your knees in towards each other and flex your heels up towards the ceiling. Keep a bend in your knees. This leg's up the wall. You can slide your block at its lowest height back under your low back, much like you did in bridge pose, but make sure to keep it on the lowest height of your block. Just it'll be more stable. Otherwise, it's going to become a different kind of balancing posture to try to lift your hips up higher than that. Such a great posture from a restorative standpoint for getting some of the blood flow in your legs, the support of the ground to your spine. And then from here, gently remove your block from underneath, hug your knees into your chest. Happy baby. Can grab for the inside edges of your feet or your shins or behind your knees. Flex your feet up towards the ceiling. Get a couple rocks side to side along your spine. Let that feel nice. And then we'll end with a supine twist. Hug your knees into your chest. Extend your left leg long. Keep your right knee in. Use your left hand to guide your right knee across your body. Reach your right arm open next to you. Let your gaze soften to the right as you twist towards the left. Let it be really, really gentle. And then slowly come back to center. Give your knee a squeeze before you switch out your legs. Right leg long, left knee in. Use your right hand to guide your left knee across you. Reach your left arm open next to you and let your gaze soften left as much as gravity allows. No need to force any twisting here. Just a gentle twist to end your practice. Let it feel really, really good. And then slowly draw your knee back into your chest. Gather both knees into your chest from here. Wrap yourself into that tiny little ball. Forehead to knees, chin to chest. Give yourself a big squeeze. Breathe in. Open mouth, exhale, corpse pose, Shavasana. Extend your legs long. Let your feet just flop open to the sides. Palms beside you, face up, curl your fingertips. They're so relaxed. Unclench your jaw. We had lots of time. I'm gonna give you about 90 seconds here to just engage in the active process of withdrawal through surrender. And I'll guide you out shortly. Enjoy. as you're ready to reemerge into your evening and whatever lies ahead of you. Begin that gentle movement in your body, a little wiggle in your extremities. And as you make movement bigger and bring a little bit more attention awareness back to your being, keep this idea of pratyahara, front of heart, front of mind, as a practice off our mats as well. Eventually come to a long body stretch, reach your arms behind you, point your toes in front of you. Once you get there, enjoy a nice big breath in. And a nice big breath out. Draw your knees to your chest. Roll to a fetal posture on either side. Your bicep will make a lovely little pillow for you. And then from that fetal posture, press yourself up to a seat and face the front of your mat. With your eyes closed, sit up nice and tall, reach through the crown of your head, bring your thumbs to heart center, spread your fingers wide and press your palms to your chest. And just feel that connection to the internal. We'll continue to spotlight more and more the internal journey of yoga, as that's what the eight-limbed path is essentially guiding us deeper into, is that higher, more in-depth understanding of ourselves. Bring your thumbs to your third eye, the space between your eyebrows, where we acknowledge the intuition, the insight, the enlightenment that yoga can provide from an energetic perspective. So grateful we continue to do this practice. Bowing forward, we seal it, saying peace.